Videos by YGOSmurf. Be creative. Card news. How do you guys like it? Personally, I'm subscribed to a lot of different YouTube channels for Yu-Gi-Oh! And whatnot, so that way I can just try and stay up and up on what's new with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, like what's coming out, the rulings, stuff like that. But I've kind of noticed these like four distinct different ways of talking about new cards. You have one, when they're announced in the OCG. 2, when they're released in the OCG, 3, when they're announced in the TCG, and 4, when they're released in the TCG. All of these announcements and these types have different good things and different bad things about them. So before you go ahead and decide in the comments below which ones you prefer to hear, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each one. The cool thing about hearing about new cards when they're announced in the OCG is just that long time of, hey, these cards are coming out, this is what you probably can do with them, let's start buying cards, trying to, get up some of that profiteering, trying to make sure you understand all the combos before other people figure them out, trying to be that innovative style. But it's also got some cons. One is that it's super far away. Like, you're not going to play with this card for anywhere from like 3 months to like 3 years, depending on how or when it's released into the TCG. You catch that little if released in the TCG? Yeah, OCG has this wonderful thing called OCG exclusives that they'll announce, and then we don't know they're OCG exclusive until they don't come out when they're supposed to. And then all your plans and money down the drain. The second one, when they're actually released in the OCG, it's kind of cool because then, people have already started thinking about the combos. Then you can actually see when those combos work well, when they don't, get some tournament results, see if people tried these combos, if they didn't, why not, stuff like that. But on the downside, again, it's still pretty far away. And OCG exclusives are a thing. Also, the meta in OCG is just different. They prefer cards that we don't prefer. And so then they gear their strategies and their decks towards that. So like heroes, they were pretty not relevant before the structure deck came out in OCG. Like some people played them, but they never really did much. Whereas in the TCG, you could almost always. There was that one rogue hero player at a freaking regionals or a YCS that managed to do something. The TCG likes heroes a lot more than the OCG, or at least they used to. That's one example of a con, because if you build up for this one set thing and then it doesn't happen, well, that's just a giant flounder. The third option, when it's announced in the TCG, still ahead of the game because it's not in the TCG yet, but now it's a little bit more down to earth. You know what you're actually going to be able to deal with, what you're going to have, and stuff like that, and that's cool because it gets rid of those like far away deadlines and the kind of risky, oh, is it going to be OCG exclusive or what? When it's announced in the TCG, it gets rid of all those fears. But the bad stuff is, if it's already announced in the TCG, there's 2 other types of people that already knew about it, already have games plans for it, already have purchases lined up for when that stuff becomes relevant. So you're kind of out of the loop. Not by kind of half, but not as bad as if you were just hearing about things when they were released in TCG. Which comes to the fourth one, when cards are actually released into the TCG. And it's cool because when you hear about them, you can go out and buy them. That's pretty awesome. You don't have to wait, you don't have to try and hope that your online dueling service has the card already uploaded so that way you can practice and play with it. You can go right out to eBay or your local card shop and buy it. But now the bad stuff. You're very out of the loop. You're just thinking about combos and plays with this card that people have already planned, combed over, ruled as inefficient and ineffective 6 months ago. So you gotta watch out for that. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the second or third option because I like to know that I'm actually going to be able to play with the card, so TCG announcements. But I also like to be far enough ahead to where I can be thinking of those new combos, those new plays, and possible money-making things in the future with the OCG release, because you see what they like and what's going to do well, so then you can buy things that will do well with the things in the OCG before they come out in the TCG. Unfortunately, the downside of my thing is that you don't get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or think about Yu-Gi-Oh! In the now. Because you're always thinking about the future, you never really think of what's the best game plan strategy for me currently at my locals. And that can kind of lead to some downsides and down games and stuff like that. But what do you guys think? Which one would you rather hear for new cards and card news and erratas and stuff like that? How would you guys like to hear them? Go ahead and post those in the comments below. If any one of the 4 styles get 10 likes or more on them, I'll go ahead and focus on card news like that. And I'll actually start doing card news, even though I haven't really ever done it before, but it will show me that you guys want card news, and then it shows me what type of card news you guys want. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to me if you deem me worthy. Have a wonderful day, guys.